This is my review of Are You Lost episode 5, and thank the gods Shion finally got some freaking character development. I mean, she's still probably my least favorite among the group, but now by a bit of a smaller margin, I'd like to say. So we start off, and I mean, this episode still starts off with her complaining. Wait a minute. If it's gonna take us days to catch a rabbit, what the hell are you guys doing here sitting on your asses? I mean, yeah, she's making a good point, and yeah, she did just get firewood, but still just rude. I mean, she did actually, do stuff this episode, even before her whole character development. She found a bucket to cook the turban shells they never got in. She, collected a lot of firewood, so that is an improvement on her. But still, when she found out they weren't turban shells, she had kind of a mini little mental breakdown and just started saying, "These are weird looking turban shells. These are weird looking turban shells. Ooh la la." Which is honestly a little creepy. Though I'm surprised that none of them had a mental breakdown before this. And then when she realized Homare has cut her hand open, trying to get the food for them, she's starting to realize the true depths of their situation. I mean, this is life or death here. They could get hurt, they could die, and it's finally, dawning on her how much Homare is taking on herself to do all this. Later on, she thinks she sees a ship, and it's less of a mini mental breakdown and more of a full-blown mental breakdown. She starts screaming and crying. I mean, you could say this is because she was, upset that she didn't actually see his ship, but I just think this whole situation's finally started to weigh on her. I mean, our level athlete didn't really hold up much better either, started crying herself, and just the weight of everything that's been going on, the weight of all this just smashing down on them is... It's hard to deal with for anybody, let alone a bunch of high school girls. I mean, Homare actually says that dealing with their mental breakdown is the hardest thing she's had to do since coming to this island, which... Oh my god, I just love you. A little worried that the first thing Shion thought when Homare said they needed to go somewhere was, "Oh my god, she's gonna beat me! She's gonna beat me because I upset her with my crying," which really makes me wonder, Shion, what are your parents like? I mean, seriously, if your first thought is she's gonna beat me half to death, I have to worry about your parents. Thankfully, Thankfully, she just brought her there so they could find fish, which apparently were sleeping in the sand, which is something I didn't know fish did, so interesting. And like Homer's father suggested, a big barbecue solves all of life's problems, which, I mean, he might not be wrong about that. So they all get together, they party, they even have tea, which, nice. I mean, it's not the traditional stuff they're used to, but still tea that they say tastes high class to them, so yay. And then they have the fish, and oh my god. Anyone's ever seen Food Wars, this is pretty similar to that, a foodgasm right there. So I think it's definitely a big improvement for Shion. She's helping more, she's realizing the true depths of the situation, and that she should be more grateful for what the others are doing for her. Speaking of the others, our Homare did pretty well in this episode. I loved how she used the own bubbles from her breath as a magnifying glass underwater. That was really cool, and I did not know that was possible. I don't spend too much time in water, but that's the only thing I'd like to try maybe down the road. Our athlete was some good, some bad. I mean, thankfully for one, she actually, proved her athletic skill, being able to outrun the nerd and get to the top of the hill faster, which, thank you! You're a freaking athlete. That was your big whole character thing when you first introduced yourself. That you were strong, you were physically fit, you could do the hard manual work on this island. And so far, you've just been, getting exhausted time and time again and basically passing out from fatigue. So it's good to see you're at least stronger than the weakest among you. Weakest? Yeah. Probably the physically weakest, at least. I'm sure our local rich girl has tennis lessons or whatever. So she's at least somewhat stronger than our nerd. She also joined in the whole mental breakdown everyone else was having, which, I'd like to see. If it's been Shion, it would have been like, oh, Shion's weak and useless and whatever, but with the others joining in, it really helped emphasize just the stress they're all under and how they're really starting to feel it all affect them. And finally, at the end of the episode, it looks like they caught a rabbit, and as she said, she used to have a pet rabbit, so she's really not sure if she could go through with killing it, and unfortunately, it looks like it's still alive. Oh boy. That's probably going to be problematic for next episode. I mean, again, I am an optimist in all things, so maybe it's going to be their new pet, and they're going to have to find a way to feed it, because they hurt it or something, which, yeah, that's pretty unlikely. Though, then again, this episode was called The Turban Shell, and they didn't eat any turban shells, so I don't know, it might be possible. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Is that rabbit going to die? Be sure to like, subscribe. Until next time.
Peace.